Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my Patreon supporters, Sarah L. Thanks for your support. Now in tonight's episode of Should You Summon, we'll discuss the various banners that feature our alternate form of the grumpy worker, Yakumo AS, as well as his AS sidekick, which I believe is the first sidekick that has two different versions. And so let's get right into it. We do have the Fateful, which is the 3 times pretty standard stuff. Pickup bonus, of course, is allowed on these featured units. Unfortunately, note that the 4.5 and 5-star normal style are not boosted. We are going with the straight out 0.8% only of the AS, and so that's very, very unfortunate. I'm looking forward to seeing what the free banner has, but if this is the same as the free banner, I mean, honestly, it's a little bit predatory, being that previous ASs did have a full rate up of 0.4, 0.8, and 0.8 respectively. The gacha has really changed if that is the case. I don't remember ASs as a full standard banner having only 0.8 with nothing else except for the advent of the SA system. You can see all the other banners are in here, including Shanhua. Shanhua is up here. Annabelle, of course, ES is here as well. Just keep on going down the list. Of course, all the other older ones in terms of our SAs are here. So Shanhua's there. Remember that if you do not hit... if you hit any of the other SA units, they will not have the pickup bonus. Only Yakumo AS will have the full 3 out of 3 gauges. The other ones will only get 1 out of 3 if you happen to be hitting one of the other 90% chance of a 5-star on the 10th pull. I'll cover the other the other Fatefuls in just a moment. Let's go right into Högni, I guess, and see if the free banner is any better. And unfortunately, just straight 0.8. So yeah, unfortunately, the full rate up banners for ASs are have been revamped since the SA. We have seen this with Thili and other ones. So that's really unfortunate. Like I said, quite predatory. Oh well, it is what it is. Shanhua will not be in here because this is a free banner and the newer units are not in here. Only the paid banners have every unit in the game. The older ones, the free banners usually are not coinciding. Anything that's still available, for example, Alter Seal, ES, ES, Annabelle, and Shanhua will not be in here. Okay, so let's discuss Yakumo AS. Before discussing Yakumo AS, we really have to discuss Yakumo. I still rank Yakumo among my top 5 picks, even if you're using a Star Dream. That's even without the fact that he would not be S8. I'm talking the normal style. Yakumo is extremely powerful. He comes with Kumos normally and does not need SA to awaken it. You just have Yakumo, and even at level 80, among the most powerful magic users in the game, as long as they don't null magic or null shade, he can punch through so many bosses and super bosses. There was one boss, the Deus Crass, which centered around Yakumo's release, which he made things very, very simple. And back in the day, I did pull Yakumo on his banner, spending 10 plus and getting him as a full unit, not Stellar Awakened. And he has been an invaluable member of my team ever since. Kumos, on the other hand, is great. Remember that normal style Kumos and AS Kumos have the same normal move, which is the one that applies break as well as I think shade resist down and some other little bonuses. Now the only difference is, of course, the activation of the special ability with Yakumo normal versus Yakumo AS. We're not really comparing that here, but I think what I'm trying to get at is Yakumo normal style is a broken unit, and I would say even now would rank among the top picks in the game. I think that his normal style can rival the AS version. Even though the AS has the Stellar Awaken, which obviously has Barrier, Pierce, and other goodies when Stellar Awakened. If he's not Stellar Awakened, Yakumo will wipe the floor with Yakumo AS. You need the Stellar Awaken to have the full abilities. Even without the full abilities, he still has some potential, just that you won't have the Awakened Magic Zone right off the bat with the 50 charges, which will basically allow you to do 50% more in Awakened Magic Zone instead of just, almost like the amped version. The other thing is that I don't know the modifiers for DPS for the AS version. I would imagine that, like most AS designs, they have almost like an opposite or modified version to the normal style. And so instead of normal style being all out DPS, the AS has some support, has that speed and int boost, for example, for the whole team, can give Barrier Pierce for one turn. The one good thing I will say about this Stellar Awakening is that just like with some of the best ones out there, including S.A. Suzette, and I think S.A. Suzette and, for example, Winefica, they can dispel any active zone, even Awakened, and then redeploy your zone. That in this case, Yakumo AS features the Magic Awakened zone. And so I really do like that as a feature in the Stellar Awaken. It sets it apart from having a normal SA that cannot do that. Because remember, nowadays, many super bosses just set zone and forget about it. And if you can't break zone and redeploy, you're essentially, in huge trouble. Likewise, bosses will break your zone on a whim. So, what I would like to see is that future units would be able to break zone without having the SA ability, as in a normal move that can break zone. The last unit who could do that was AS Hardy, and before that it was AS Annabelle. Both of those have been power crept. AS Hardy probably is still marginally useful in some teams. However, the reality is only 2 units in the game so far can break zone with a move. Obviously extremely powerful in that sense, and at the time probably wasn't as powerful, but nowadays you can't overwrite Awakened Zone, so those abilities are going to be probably kept very tightly by WFS and either locked behind SA moves or Awakened abilities that are only through the SA system with a full board unlocked. So back to summoning on this banner. Without much ado, I would highly recommend you summoning on this banner if you don't have any form of Yakumo. The downside is there is no uprate for the normal style 5-star or the 4.5, so you only have 0.8% chance of getting AS Yakumo. Obviously, the 0.0 whatever of the normal style I don't count really, because really that's just like a negligible additional chance. But if you get AS, you only have to pick up 1 Dunslav tome, which would be in future, I believe it's in Xeno Domain. And so if you're grinding out some tomes there or grinding out some light for Rico, you should be able to find that. And if you're grinding out tomes for Shanhua anyways, and to make a VC Grasta, you probably can get that very easily. So to make a long story short, I kind of simped over the normal style because normal style Yakumo is broken as heck. And the AS looks to have a huge potential when Stellar Awakened. And non-Stellar Awakened, even if you get him as non-Stellar Awakened, which you won't because in this banner it's just fully awakened or nothing at all, you can side grade anyways. And normal style Yakumo will carry you through some difficult content in the future. So unfortunately, WFS, shame on you for not upgrading the rate of the normal style 4.5 or 5. We only have 0.8% chance, so for anyone who doesn't have Yakumo and needs to pull on this one, I do wish you good luck on this one. It's going to be tough. But if you're lucky, hey, that's all you need, right? You only need a little bit of luck, and you can land it. Just for reference sake, my youngest son, who hardly plays the game anymore, he does log in from time to time, but I say only 50% of the time at best. He saved up 1k stones because I did mention that AS Yakumo is coming. He spent about 10k back when normal style was released and didn't get him. Hey, landed him with less than 1,000 stones as single pulls, so Church of Single Pulls wins again. And again, this is what WFS wants. This is it's a huge lottery win. You either win hard or you lose hard. And so my son won hard. He's extremely happy, and he's off to side grade and beat down Deuce Crass. Meanwhile, I'm going to be waiting 3 to 6 months to get my 3 treatises, or 5 3DCs because I can't even buy them through the store to save up those Siberius gems, and then use my 3 SA All Cosmos star charts. I do think this is one that I will probably use 3 of my stellar All Cosmos on. I was debating whether or not I was going to use another 3 All Cosmos on ES Dilly, but the worst part is after so many months, I don't even have enough Sacrament codexes to do anything. And part of the reason, of course, as you know, is when not buying keys, because we can't buy keys, we need to save our Siberius gems. It does impact the number of treatises and codexes that are dropping. I'm also not sure whether or not any rates have been changed, but I will say since the SA system has dropped, my rate of getting the newer opuses and treatises have been drastically reduced. Can't prove anything, but let me know in the comments below if you have been able to get 5 or 3 of the required materials. I have not gotten nearly as many as I would have gotten in the past, and I do attribute most of that to the fact that I don't buy extra red and green keys, because I do run all my keys still. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, so I can't prove anything. Just anecdotally, much tougher. So in summary, after all that talking, definitely a must summon if you don't have any form of Yakumo. If you're new to the game, this is a must summon banner. Just the fact that you have access to a Yakumo is great. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some idea. I think most of you probably already felt that way. However, that's just my 2 cents on the situation. Now, in terms of these Amber, Lapis, and popularity vote, I'll just go quickly over them. My feel is all the same. You have 10% chance of getting 10 different units. Same with these ones. Okay. And you can see from the picture, same as these ones. Some have Stellar Awaken, some do not. I don't feel these are good value anymore. I think that they're great if you still want to collect all the units in the game. So purely as a collection access, it is pretty nice, especially if you're missing half or 2/3 of the units. Purely from an upgrade standpoint, any banner that doesn't give a full Stellar Awaken chance is a no in my eyes. And it's just that because the game is now centered around the SA system, I can't recommend any banners that only give you non-SA chance. Now, for example, if these banners had an SA chance of, say, an AS Yakumo plus bonus other units, I would say, yeah, sure. However, because they don't, and people who want units do want SAs, I would avoid those banners, in general. And that's just my own personal opinion about it. But I feel that since the system is built around the new SA gacha system, you might as well only spend money on SA type banners with a full pickup bonus. Anyways, as for myself, not pulling, even seeing my youngest son hit huge on less than 1k, I don't even have that many K, and I'm still going to be doing the traditional free-to-play method of saving and side grading, and just picking a few units out of the vast majority of units that I am able to side grade in the future. Anyways, I'm glad that this update isn't too difficult. The cat stamps is pretty relatively straightforward. If you haven't checked it out, you can check out my short video on that. And just make sure you log in every day and get those. And remember, to earn your All Cosmos star chart every month, if you're free to play like myself, you have to do the 100 battles, which is obviously in those trials. I do have that video illustrating that in my Back to Basics playlist. And if you're a dual subscription person, obviously do the mini trials required to get those extra 1.2 star charts per month. You'll need them to side grade units like this. Good luck in all your pulls, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.